It's episode 11.
Okay, welcome in. It's the Steve and Bethany Hopecast. Boom, episode 11.
We got finger guns now?
Yeah, a little bit.
New.
This is, well, it's something worth celebrating,
We
right?
have had a big weekend. You
have.
had a wedding. I had an engagement. It was a whole thing happening.
It was a whole thing happening.
You go first.
Okay, so yeah, because just to kind of button up the story that we started last week.
Yeah.
My son Brett was going to be the ring barreler, in his words, at my only niece, my favorite niece's wedding, Lindsay, that took place on Saturday. And so he was been, like we said last week, for a full year, he's known about this. And so we finally get to the time to get ready, and we're going to do this for real. We're going live.
Did he wear a tux?
Yes, he did,
right?
He did. Well, Jarvis Jr. has got a picture of the happy couple. Well, there it is, right there. See,
he looks so cute and like a little scared.
Yeah.
He looks a little scared, but really cute.
He really does. That's the happy couple.
I
If you're
love
not
his
watching
little
on
bow tie.
YouTube, we've got a picture of my niece and my niece nephew-in-law right now, and my 6-year-old son, who was the ring barreler, up there on the screen, and they all cleaned up really nice.
Yeah,
and
I
all
love
looked
her
really,
dress, by the way. So pretty.
Really, it was really nice, and just a beautiful service. So let's jump back one day to Friday when we had the rehearsal dinner. Okay, so we get in there, everybody takes their places, everybody's ready to go. And Brett starts feeling the pressure.
Okay.
A little bit nervous, not sure. Because, again, he's 6 years old. He's not been to a wedding ever,
Right.
so he doesn't know what this is about. So we're telling him, okay, you got a little girl that's going to be walking with you. She's going to be the flower girl, and she's going to be dropping little rose petals and stuff. And you're going to walk with her down the aisle. You have this box, which was a new thing on him. He didn't know that he was actually going to be carrying the rings in a box. So you go up there, you hand it to the best man. The best man will take it when the preacher calls for it to the happy couple.
Okay.
And we'll move on from there. So we had to go, and we had to practice about 3 different times. So, but we got it.
hard.
We got it going. Well, it wasn't the little one's fault.
Oh,
And
okay.
so he was still a little skittish, a little nervous.
Okay.
Little girl, she owned the place.
Absolute pro.
Absolute pro, ready to do it. I'm ready to go. So she's walking down the aisle. I mean, and she's pretending like she's throwing, and she's just all into it, just
Killing
doing well.
it.
Just, knocking it out of the park. So we get to game day. We get there when it's really time to go. Brett's in his tux. Everything's ready to go. And he tells me, Daddy, I'm scared. I can't do it. And I'm like, dude, no. I said, listen, this is not a time to be scared. You can't be scared. I said, you know what you have to be? You have to be courageous because you're scared, but you still have to do it anyway because this is Lindsay's big day.
That's so sweet. That's a good little teaching moment for you.
Isn't it though? I thought I did a pretty good job in the
job,
fatherly
Dad.
department.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, little brownie points for you.
And so he was still nervous, and I thought, Lord, just please let him just do it. And I felt confident, but there was always that little space, right?
Right.
So we get to the big moment. Down walks a couple of the bridesmaids, and a couple of more walk, and then you've got the maid of honor.
Yeah.
Maid of honor.
Matron as if she's married.
Okay, I don't. She's not. So
Okay,
it was the
maid of honor.
So it was the maid of honor, and before the maid of honor was the ring bearer and the flower girl. The flower girl sees the doors open and notices just one side of the auditorium, just one. That's all she could see. She was out. Not going any further. She stopped in her tracks. She said, I don't want to do this anymore. And walked right over to the little seats over on the last row and sat down.
Oh, no.
She was out. Now, Brett has been coached and trained. You wait on her because you two walk down together. And she's the younger of the two, so you wait on her. So he's frozen. He doesn't know what to do.
Oh, no.
And I'm up at the sound booth because I'm running a camera for the wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you got to go. You got to go. And he's like, I don't want to mess up because he's been told, you wait on her. I said, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go. Finally, he walks down the aisle like a champ, goes right up there to the stage. And at some point, I forgot when they changed it, but at some point, it was changed from him giving the rings to the best man to him having to do it himself.
Okay.
So when the time was called, he walked over. He held the ring box out. Not Austin. Austin's best man, but Jared opened up the box, grabbed the rings out, and Brett went right back to his spot.
So what happened to the flower girl? Did she just keep
she was
down?
out.
She just didn't do it? Okay.
No, she didn't do it. No, she was out.
Here's the kind of redeeming quality, though, about ring bearers and flower girls. No matter what they do, even if they completely mess up, it's still adorable.
Oh, sure.
Like
yeah.
they can't really mess up too bad.
No,
it's still going to be cute.
And bless her heart, the mom's the flower girl was embarrassed and upset.
Bless her heart.
And there was no reason for it because Lindsay wasn't, Jared wasn't,
right, yeah.
I wasn't, nobody in the building was.
Right.
Because she's like 4 years old.
You can't blame her.
And she was like, no, I'm out. I'm not doing it. And because she's such a pistol anyway, the little girl. But she made her mind up when she saw those people. I'm not done.
She said, not today.
So anyway, but the wedding turned out beautiful, and you saw the picture of the happy bride and groom and the little ring bearer. It was such a proud moment for me to be
Very
able
cool.
to see everything happening. My little one getting to take part in my niece's wedding. It was just a lot of fun.
Well, that's really sweet. I like that. Well, kind of along the same lines, my sister actually got engaged last week. So the day after Lindsay got married,
that's right.
My sister got engaged, and she's my big sister, and she's been, beside me as I walked through my engagement and marriage and all of that. And so I'm really excited to kind of see the roles reverse and get to do everything for her. But it was so funny because her fiance, Michael, talked to my dad on Thursday and said, I want to propose on Sunday. And we're like, we got 2 days to put this together. And so it was a little bit of a mad scramble. We all had like a family meeting. We're like, okay, you need to be here. You need to be doing this, and figured it out. And it went really smoothly, all things considered. Like, we didn't have a ton of time to plan an after party and all that, but it all worked out great.
See, that's the difference in generations right there.
Oh, like an after party and everything?
Not even an after party, but you people being involved at all.
Oh, yeah.
Usually
yeah.
it's just the two.
Oh, no. See,
couple.
we hired the photographer, and then like Michael, her fiance, he got some of the decorations, and then my brother and sister-in-law were there. They were decorating. They got engaged down by the river on like a bench. It was this kind of romantic spot where they had their first date.
Right.
So we had that all decorated, and the only thing that kind of went wrong is that we had a big bouquet in a glass vase, and the wind was a little strong that day and knocked it over like a minute before they got there.
No way.
So we all stood around like frozen for a second. We're like, we gotta clean it up. So we were like picking up glass shards, trying not to cut ourselves. My husband actually kind of like nicked himself a little bit. So we're picking up glass shards, and we're hoping like Mariah, my sister, doesn't see, this like giant, piece of glass, hanging around. We're all trying to clean it up. It was a little dramatic there for a second, but
That's
we were okay.
Crazy. Okay, now look, you and I have talked about this off air, but your sister kind of had a feeling that it was going to be. Was she really surprised?
She grilled me a couple weeks ago. She was
Really?
like, what do you know? Do you know anything? And all I knew was that he had a ring. I did know that, but I didn't know when the proposal was happening. So I was trying to kind of skirt the question a little bit, like, I don't know, it's whatever.
You're not a good liar a lot of times.
I'm really not, though. But I was, thankfully, we were at like a family hangout. So there were other things going on. So I was kind of able to like eat and just be like, what's happening over there? Just try to distract her. But yeah, I told her, I was like, man, I guess he is kind of acting weird. I don't know. Maybe something's happening. I don't know.
See, that's the exact opposite when you were getting engaged. What was it, 2-3 years ago? Whatever it was. Whatever it
2.5, 3.
That's the exact same thing. I had Mariah and I had Cody come and try to. I was part of a little bit of the planning committee.
You were.
To make sure that things went well.
Yeah.
And you were nosing around too. You were doing the exact same thing. So the roles have reversed.
I pulled a page out of your book though because I was asking you. I was like, so do you think Cody's going to propose? Do you think that'll happen? And you said you're like, he's acting strange. He's probably going to propose sometime soon, trying to kind of keep me from getting too suspicious by acting like you didn't know anything. So when my sister asked me if I knew anything, I was like, that is kind of weird. He is kind of acting weird.
See,
maybe something's going on.
Well, and here's a tip from your Uncle Steve. When you're in that position like that, you can't let on, oh, no, I've never heard anything. Because that right there is the red.
He wouldn't ever want to marry you.
That's the red flag. That's like, she knows something. So what you do is you play along. You say, well, that does sound strange.
Yeah.
But, what
so
do I know?
So that's what I did. I did think of you, actually, as I was lying to my sister's face, I thought of you.
Well, lying to your sister, my work here is done.
Well, I think we do have a picture of the proposal. Can you throw that up,
do we?
Jarvis? Yeah,
look.
She was so surprised. She like squatted down because she was so shocked. Starts bawling. Like it was
that's
so
hard
precious
for me to believe, knowing her, that she was really that surprised since it's at the first place. You had the date and the whole thing.
I don't know.
Well, did she know that? Did she know that they were going?
Yeah, look how happy. She did know that they were going to go there. They had planned out this day.
Right.
She knew that they were going to get engaged sometime. I just don't think she knew when. Like, she definitely wasn't anticipating it on this day. So she asked, or the first question she asked actually afterwards was, did I say yes? She goes, I don't remember. Did I say yes? I was like, yeah, you did. You're good. But yeah, I'm super pumped for them. They're a really, really precious couple. And so I'm excited to see what the Lord does through their marriage. I'm pumped about it.
All right, hey, welcome back. It's the Stephen Bethany Hopecast, and it took a little bit of doing, but Jarvis and Jarvis Jr. have finally got us made connection with our guest today.
Yeah, put their heads together, and we have Andrea Lennon on with us. She's on FaceTime.
Yay,
and Andrea, yeah, welcome in.
Hey, everybody. It's so good to be with you. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, Andrea is honestly one of our favorite people.
She really is.
She's like an OG Stephen Bethany fan. She's been with us since the very beginning.
Well,
and we adore her.
I first became aware of Andrea several years ago when she spoke at a women's conference at my church. And my wife and several other ladies that I know was just raving about her. And so I listened to the message myself, Andrea, and I was like, this lady needs to be on the radio. And so we started talking back that many years ago about maybe bringing you on to be a part of the radio show.
And boy, Steve, did I run from that or what?
Well,
we took a little convincing.
I tried to avoid you for the longest time, but I'm just like, nope.
Women avoiding me has been the story of my life.
Oh, no.
So, no, but it was really a lot of fun. And you did. You bald-faced lied to me from the very beginning, saying, oh, yeah, I'll pray about that. That sounds like an excellent opportunity.
That's a great Christian way of saying, yeah, no.
And that's exactly what her attitude was.
Yes, and I have come clean about that in my book, actually, God in the Window. Steve, you and Bethany are all in this book, and I tell the story about how God just kept actually using both of you just to say, trust me, just trust me, trust my path, trust my plan, step into the unknown and watch me do more than what you could ask or imagine. So I so deeply appreciate both of you.
Well, we're so thankful for you too, because we're continuing this little series we're doing of our favorite podcasters.
Right.
We're bringing them on to talk to them. And obviously you are one of our favorites, Inspire on the Go. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I have a podcast that I do in partnership with the Arkansas Baptist State Convention. And really, the inception of this podcast goes back to my radio program that I did with both of you and Salem Media. And so that just, really kind of started our wheels turning about all the different modes and mediums of communication that we can use to just get the gospel message out to women. That God is love and that He offers a plan for our lives. And so Inspire on the Go is made up primarily of 3 different types of conversations. One is Bible teaching, the next is leadership development, and then the third is like women's ministry and how we can be active in our local churches. So you'll get those kind of conversations on Inspire on the Go.
Very good. Now, what days does it usually drop?
It drops every other Monday, and you can find it on all, different places where podcasts are available. So today a new episode dropped, and we do usually for sure 2 a month, and then we bonus shows a lot of times. So you can go to my website, AndreaLennonMinistry.org, to subscribe and to find the links to connect with me, not only in my podcast ministry, but also in my speaking and writing ministry as well.
Well, I was going to say, if you don't follow Andrea on social media, you totally need to, because what's been really cool about seeing how you've navigated this whole quarantine thing, you haven't always been able to go into the studio and record your podcast, but certainly on social media, you've been recording really encouraging videos and just, again, sharing your heart, sharing what the Lord's put on your mind and your heart that day. And I just think that's so cool, because so many times, like, it's easy to get discouraged, especially in times like this of, we can't go out and do the things that we normally do. And I feel like you took that on as like a challenge, and you're like, nope, I'm going to do this from my living room, and I'm going to still encourage women. I love it.
Well, it was such a blessing for me. And my story, Bethany. You're one of my girls. I love you so much, and so thankful for you and the way that you are faithful to partner in prayer, in ministry. And, whenever the quarantine happened, I had all this time on my hands, and that's something that's unusual for me. And the Lord just put it on my heart to start a private Facebook group and to talk about truth during uncertain times, because certainly we were facing uncertain times. And I was hoping for 50 women to jump into that private Facebook group. As of today, we have about 2,600 women who are taking part just in, community, Bible study, prayer, and just navigating this uncertain time. And so many of those Bible teaching, videos are what I'm actually using for my podcast right now. So, hey, listen, God is faithful. God is on his throne. He is always at work, and we can trust him.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, and you're noticing it, if you're just being introduced to Andrea for the first time, you're noticing how genuine she is. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the thing that attracts everybody
Sets her
to
apart,
her.
for
Yeah,
sure.
it really does. And so we're so thankful for her friendship, and we want to also announce to our Patreon people, is it Patreon or patrons?
I think it's patrons if they're a part of it. Patreon is the website.
We need to get Jarvis to give us an official ruling on that. But here's the thing. Andrea has been nice enough that at the end of the program, we're going to be able to announce that she is giving away some resources to all of our Patreon members.
Yeah, and it's just for the Patreon members. So be sure to kind of stay tuned until the end of the show, and we'll announce that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Andrea, I know we talked about the quarantine. We talked about how you're dealing with that. Have you seen any kind of light on the horizon about as far as getting back together, going out and doing ministry work and teaching any sessions anytime soon?
Well, this has been the craziest year of my ministry life. Let me just say that. Never have I faced the cancellation of every single event. And so we are prayerful, and we are hopeful, and we are watchful for what God's going to do in the midst of that. But I will tell you something that is happening in our ministry that we're so very excited about. Just this past Wednesday, we received approval from the government to transition from an LLC to a nonprofit status.
Oh, wow. Very good.
I know. I'm so thankful for that. You're the first to hear. I haven't even announced it on social media. Because we're just getting our heads together and getting our business plan together and really shifting. I know that events will come back, and we will be so ready for that, but we're not going to wait. We're ready to take the good news of Jesus Christ, whether that's in social media form, whether that's in book form, whether that's in podcast form, or maybe it's just a one-on-one encounter in Kroger, waiting in line, socially distanced from one another. This virus is not going to stop the move of God. And so by all means possible, in all ways, we're looking for God to creatively lead us. So who knows what the future holds? I will tell you, it is such a great place to be. And I want to encourage all of us. This is a great place to be where we can say, I don't know the plan, but I know that God knows the plan. Mm-hmm. And just to rest in his provision and his grace and his leadership, and to say, Lord, just lead me in the path, and for us to faithfully follow him. So that's the plan at Andrea Lennon Ministry, is to follow him and to trust him, and to trust that does lead us back into churches and lead us into groups and events and different things like that. But for right now, we're just winging it, honestly.
Well, I mean, it never has been. I mean, it's the old cliche, trust the plan.
Right.
Well, now we're actually having to do it. Okay.
That's right. And a great way for everyone to connect is through social media. Mm-hmm. You can go to my website, subscribe to the website so you will receive updates, and then also click on all those social media links, and we're going to be pushing information and ways to connect to you on a regular basis.
Okay, Andrea, before we let you go, we got to do the hot seat questions. We got 4 hot seat questions.
It wouldn't be time with Steve and Bethany if we didn't put you on the hot seat.
Right.
So let's get some music going.
Yeah, all right. Where's that coming in? Let's pull this
all
down.
right.
All right. You go. You lead off, Bethany.
Okay, so let's start off by asking question number 1. If you could look through somebody's email without them knowing, who would it be?
Oh my goodness, my boys for sure. I mean,
she's a mom first.
I'm a mom. So, 20-year-old and a 16-year-old. That's a no-brainer.
I love it.
Okay. What about this one? If you could live in any fictional world, which one would it be?
Oh, wow. I think C.S. Lewis, The Chronicles of Narnia, I just think that one immediately comes to mind. Just Aslan and the picture of the lion, and how that story unfolds as such a picture of the gospel. So I would pick that one.
That's really cool. I like that one. Okay, so what about this? If you could have dinner with anybody, living or dead, who would it be? Besides Jesus, though, because that's kind of like the obvious answer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you can't take that
anybody
answer.
else?
Okay, so you guys know that my girl is Ruth in the Bible.
Yeah.
Like, I
Right.
have an entire book on her story. For sure, hands down, Ruth. And if I can add somebody in, it's Naomi.
Okay, cool.
Okay, good. Well, it's the same family.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice. Everybody will have the same stories. There you go.
You
All
don't
right.
get the full story if Naomi was there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, final one. We'll get you out on this one. What was the worst trouble you ever got into as a kid?
I never got in trouble, Steve.
You are a bit of a rule follower, but somehow I don't believe that.
Okay, so let me think the worst trouble I was ever in. I was a peacekeeper and I was terrified to get in trouble. But probably the one thing that I did that I actually, and I've never talked about this, but I did do it. When I was a little girl, my granddad would smoke cigarettes, and I loved my granddad. I mean, I looked up to him so much. And so I would naturally see him doing that all the time. Well, one day I thought I'm going to kind of try to be like my granddad, but I didn't have a cigarette or anything like that. So I rolled up a piece of paper and lit it and then inhaled, like trying to act like,
Sure.
like I was so young, I didn't know what I was doing. Well, it burned my throat so bad, and I was terrified to tell my parents what happened. And
Do they know this story?
I guess confession is good for the soul.
Yeah.
But I immediately was like looking for some kind of, like Big Red was what we drank whenever I was little.
Right.
Like that was a treat. And I was like, where's that Big Red drink? And so to this day, I would say that sticks out as a very bad choice.
That's hilarious. But hey, start young. Like, don't smoke. You learned that lesson early. That's good.
That's right. Well, Andrea.
It was never a temptation after that.
Well, you are officially off the hot seat, girl.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, you did good. So, okay, Andrea's podcast is called Inspire on the Go. It drops every other Monday. You can check it out, all the platforms. Also, social media is where she's at.
For sure. Andrea, thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, and what's your website again?
AndreaLennonMinistry.org.
All right, well, we love you, kid. Thank you so much.
Guys, see you soon.
All right, just before we close up the show today, we've been talking about it all show long, and now it's finally come the time to give away our Win One, Get One.
So you've known about this for a few weeks. We've been talking all about it. One lucky listener is going to get a tumbler that is personalized. They get their monogram on the other
Jarvis
side.
Jr., can we get that picture? Can
Yeah,
we throw
let's
that
throw
up?
up the picture.
There we go.
Yeah, look at that. That's so cute. And
If you're not watching on the YouTube, then it's
The YouTube?
a marbled colored blue and purple and red. Beautiful. Got the Stephen Bethany Hopecast logo.
super cute.
And will be able to be personalized and monogrammed.
Right. And they're also going to get an Amazon gift card for themselves, but also an additional tumbler and an Amazon gift card to give to a friend. So we've drawn a winner.
Yes, we have.
Are we ready to call him?
Her name, it's a her. It's
okay.
Lynn Muller.
Hi, Lynn.
And so we're going to give you the little dialing here. We don't have that through the speaker. Okay, so let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, wait, I misdialed.
Steve.
Okay. All right, so call.
Okay.
And we're going to go it through here. All right, I hear the ringing. Do
I
you hear
hear-
the
I
ringtones
hear
there?
it.
Jarvis Jr.?
Hello, this is Lynn.
Hey, Lynn, it's Stephen Bethany.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
We're doing good, but if you're having a good day, I think it's safe to say that your day's about to get a whole lot better.
Awesome.
Yes, because you are our big winner of the Win One, Give One. You have got a brand new, it absolutely is. You have got two of the Stephen Bethany Hopecast tumblers from our friends over at Victory Rivers Customs.
And then you're also going to have 2 Amazon gift cards, one for you and one for a friend.
That's right. So
That's awesome. Thank you.
it is. It's completely awesome. So tell us, who are you going to give the second one to?
I had to think about it, but I'm thinking maybe my mom.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a good idea. I like that.
Very nice. I like that too. Share it with Mom. She'll love that.
Very, very sweet.
Well, Lynn, how did you come across our Hopecast?
Well, the last one when y'all had done the story on baby Orrin Hart,
yeah.
Oh,
he is the son of my daughter's band director, and so his mother had shared y'all's page, y'all's podcast on her page. And so that's how I found out about it. So I watched, to see your story on Orin, and that's how I found out about you guys.
That is really cool. I love that.
That's exactly the way you draw it up.
Yeah.
That's exactly, from our perspective, that's exactly what we want to have happen. A friend telling another friend, and then that friend watching as well. So thank you so much. We're going to be, we'll get these tumblers out to you, get them customized up for you, and get those Amazon gift cards to you, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lynn. We appreciate you.
All right, that's Lynn.
That's awesome.
That is very, very nice. Congratulations to her.
And what you said is totally true. For you listening, if you're a fan of the podcast, we want you to share it with people that you care about and kind of spread the hope around a little bit.
Absolutely. And we'd love to hear your comments about today's episode. We've got a brand new email address set up because Jarvis said, hey, you need a technical email address that
Jarvis
people...
said so?
Yes, Jarvis said so. So what we're going to do is Stephen Bethany's Hopecast @gmail.com.
That's easy enough.
So yeah, go ahead and leave us your comments. And if you're watching, or you're not watching, you're listening on iTunes, 5-star review. Boy, that helps out a lot.
Yeah, we would really love to hear your comments. If this episode was encouraging to you, be sure to reach out and let us know. And you can check us out on all social medias, Stephen Bethany's Hopecast, or StephenBethany.com.
That's absolutely right. We'll see you next week. Good night, Olive Branch. So that was fun.
That was super fun. Yeah. I love hearing from Lynn.
Absolutely. And welcome to the Aftercast here just for you on Patreon. And something I haven't really discussed with you too much, but, this was our first contest.
Right.
But I had somebody reach out to me to want to give away another prize, do another contest.
Oh,
this
seriously?
is true. This is absolutely true. They call themselves Chip and Wade Woodwork.
Chip and Wade?
Because it's two guys. It's Chip and Wade.
That's creative.
And it's Chip and Wade.
Good.
That's what they say there.
Nice.
And they make customized cornhole games. But, they do all kinds of woodwork.
That's super cool.
But they do cornhole games is one of the things.
Okay.
And they customize it. They said they could do one with our logo.
Well, okay, this is a good idea, though, because I mentioned earlier my sister got engaged this last weekend, and she told me she wants to have cornhole at the reception. So I'm going to have to, tell them to do a customized wedding thing for
Well, that's
her.
what they do. No, in fact, there were some folks that just got married that I know.
Yeah.
That was one of the wedding presents they gave.
Very
was
cool.
a customized game with their family name on it. So whatever Mrs. Mariah is going to be now.
I'll have to do that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And not only do they have the cornhole, but they also have been making these, I say lounge chairs. They're not, that doesn't give it a proper description. These are for really nice chairs.
Yeah.
And so we might talk them into doing something like that. But so you guys pay attention. We're going to be
we'll have to figure that out.
Another contest really soon with Chip-A-Wade. So before we get out of here and let you get on about your business here on Patreon, we do want to thank Andrea Lennon, and we've been talking about it earlier about the gift that she's given. Well, we are ready to announce what that gift is.
Right. She's going to be giving all of you Patreon members her book, Free to Thrive. And it's kind of one of her earlier books, and it's just powerful. It's so amazing and deep. It's a really kind of quick read, but it's really in depth, all about spiritual truths that you need to know.
And not only that, but it is absolutely free, and we want to get it into your hands, and we want you to spread the word. Keep spreading the word about Patreon. Keep spreading the word about the Hopecast, helping this thing grow and get bigger, and we really appreciate you doing that. And I guess we're done.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Thanks for watching the Aftercast, y'all. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.